But can we awaken to the fact that God has knit our hearts together in love, and that we really are family in Christ, with well, it's like when there were seasons when our kids were growing up and they didn't have a lot of friends to choose from. Because if you're going to live your life as a Christian valued young person, you're going to forfeit a lot of friendship in the world. There's a lot of folks who aren't going to want to be your friend because you're not going to do what they do. Your values and morals are different than theirs. And you can kind of get this rejection complex. I remember we'd tell our kids, well, there are seasons in our life where the most important thing is not having a friend because we have family. And we think of the history of the people of God, that the number one source of friends for young people has always been family. They're cousins. If it's a large family, sometimes you'll have aunts and uncles who are actually maybe younger than you. That this family thing isn't just this DNA exchange. It's not just this genetic thing that exists. But really it's this living life together thing. And in ancient peoples, a village was basically a family that had just grown to a size where, as everyone's getting married and having their own kids, they're all just living in separate homes within the village. But they're all kind of one people. They're one tribe. They're really an extended family. And they don't have to venture off into another village to find friends. It's all within those relationships. So as we're discovering what it means to really be part of the family of God, I think we're rediscovering what it really means to be friends with each other. What it really means to have community, be a real community of believers. And part of that word community kind of extended out in different forms is where we get the word communion. It's what those who are in community share together. That community, what do they share? They share life together. It's called communion. So communion isn't simply this religious activity that we do when we gather together, and we do this little religious ceremony, and it involves wine and bread. But really, communion is this life we live, this air we breathe together, this interaction that is exchanged between us. And we are challenged with these things in a season of Earth history where I believe there is a demonic agenda. I don't know where you are about demonic and agenda, but I think we would all agree that there is a movement in society to these very words I'm speaking about: family and friendship and brotherhood and sisterhood. Society just continues to cheapen those words to the extent, and Facebook has a lot of good uses, I suppose, but I think its most detrimental mark on society is friendship has been so cheapened that it's a click of a button and a simple choice that requires no knowing or no communion or no communication, yet you hit the friend list. And the truth is, as I talk to men in particular, that when you talk to a man of Terry's age, my age, a little bit younger, and probably guys into their 30s and 40s, middle-aged guys, like the age of my son now, who's in his mid-30s, and you say, could you write down for me the name of, or the names of the 3 guys that are your closest friends today? Not the guys you grew up with, but who are your friends, your confidants? Not the guys you're working with, but guys that They know your heart. You know their heart. And if you ever had a problem while you were traveling overseas, if you made a phone call or sent a text, they would spend up to $1,000 to get you out of the problem that you're in or to help you in some way. Who do you know? Most men cannot name one guy. Yeah, they can't name anybody. And that would be, I think, a definition for me of what a friend is. But I know that no matter what hour I arrive at the airport in Boston and need a ride home because my plane was delayed, and when I bought the ticket, I was supposed to be able to catch a bus, then I can call Dave Navarra. And whatever he's got going on, he'll arrange his schedule, and he'll come get me in Boston. That kind of a friend. And that I don't owe him. I don't owe you nothing, man. Except to love him. And that's how the Bible defines friendship. Where do you find friends like that? Where is it worth even hoping that it's possible? Yeah. You find them in a community like this, with people who understand family, where people who are accepting what the Bible's teaching, living like this every day, trying their best to raise their kids with these kind of, we might call them traditional or historical American values. Maybe some would try to say that. It's not just a value of loyalty. It's what really is friendship.